Good morning. Kiyoshi Raven here at the Raven Self-Defense Academy in beautiful Hurricane, Utah. Continuing our series, this is part 2 in our relationship series, and I want to talk about actually couples. A man and wife, married couples, or just couples that are in a serious relationship. Let's go there, okay? I call it my king and queen concept. My king and queen concept. Guys, if you're not viewing your spouse or your significant other like your queen, in my case, like your queen, then you're doing something wrong. It's just the way it is. Your partner should be so valuable to you that you view them like royalty. And you try to treat them like royalty. Now look, none of us are perfect. We're all going to get in arguments. We're all going to get in fights. We're not always going to like each other. We're not always going to agree with each other. But irregardless, you should always view your significant other as your king or queen. Period. Okay? That's just my opinion, but I've been with the same person for 18 years now at this recording. And I have definitely made some mistakes. 100% made a lot of mistakes, and I've done some really stupid things, but I've grown and I've learned from those, and hopefully, I don't have all the answers, but I have gone through some things that might be able to help you in your relationships, okay? So the first one, view your wife or your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, as your king or queen, okay? Always be honest with them. If something's bothering you, don't let it fester inside. Now, you can be honest without being brutal. You can be honest and have some compassion. You can be honest and be kind, like we talked about in our last video. But always be honest with them. Let them know how you're feeling so they can address whatever it is that's causing a problem. And it might not even be them. You might just be having a bad day. You may be at your work or stressed over whatever. But still be honest with them. Have an open line of communication. In our last video, we talked about communication. It's vital. In order to view your spouse as your queen or king, you need to be honest and open, and that communication line needs to be flowing regularly. Demonstrate loyalty. And what I mean by that is, if you have an opportunity to stand up for your spouse, do it. If you have the opportunity to put them ahead of something else, do it. Demonstrate to them that you are 100% loyal and with them. And that doesn't mean you have to go crawling after them like a puppy dog or kiss their butt all the time. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is authentically be loyal to them. Now, many of us have made that mistake in the past, but you can start right now. Even if you've made the mistake of not being the most loyal person to your spouse, you can change that right away by starting to demonstrate your loyalty to them. Loyalty is, to me, above all else. And I've learned that the hard way in my life. Loyalty is above all else. That goes for friends, and that goes for spouses. Be loyal. Vocalize your gratitude and love for your king or queen. Let them know how much you love them. Let them know how much you're grateful for them. If they do something amazing, tell them right then and there. Don't wait. Don't hold it inside and go, I'll let them know later. No, tell them right now. If your wife, for example, your queen cooks you dinner, my goodness, praise her for it. She put time and effort into that. If your husband worked a long day at work and he's tired, praise him for that. Let him know how much you appreciate that hard work. Praise each other. Publicly and honestly praise as well. It goes a long way to actually publicly praise your queen or king. Praise them in front of their friends. Praise them in front of your friends. Let the other people know how much you appreciate your king and queen or queen. Publicly praising is a huge thing. And man, it can really let them know how much you care. And it is also a great way of showing loyalty to them as well. The magic touch. Look, a touch, and I'm not saying, I'm not talking about just a sexual touch, but just a touch can really change someone the way they feel. Just by putting your hand on their shoulder, or rubbing their hair, or rubbing their shoulders, holding their hand. Just touching someone helps transfer your energies back and forth, and it can. And it's a great physical way of letting them know how much you appreciate them and how much you consider them your queen or king. Touch each other in a loving way. And again, I'm not just talking about a sexual way, but touch each other in a loving way. And it's a demonstration of how much you care for each other. Okay? Be the support system for your king or your queen. Be that person that they can go to and just let it all off their chest. You know what I mean? Guys, you know that our queens, they need that decompression. They need that top of the bottle loosened up so that pressure can be relieved. Us guys, we don't need a lot of that most of the time, but our queens, they do. And guys, we have to be able to understand that and listen. Okay, I've definitely learned that over the years. They don't, guys. Your queen doesn't want you really to start engaging and saying a bunch of things and giving her a bunch of advice on how to handle it necessarily. But what she does want you to do is listen and try to be empathetic and understand where they're coming from. And hey, we all struggle with this. Me as a guy, I even struggle with this from time to time because it's hard not to as a guy, it's hard not to try to solve that problem. But if you can, just listen. Just listen. It's so important to your queen. And ladies, a man, your king, he also likes to decompress. You will notice it because he'll get really frustrated and aggravated and angry. This is a great opportunity to be his support system as well. So always be the support system, okay? No matter what happens, even if you don't agree with what happened, be loyal, have their back, okay? And be their support system when they need you. Be slow to anger and quick to forgive. Look, most of the things that we argue about have nothing to do with anything that's going to affect us in the future. If it's some silly kind of argument, like you didn't put the food away, be quick to apologize. Be the first to apologize. And be super, super slow to anger. This can be the most challenging thing that you can overcome in a relationship. But you don't need anger to develop some kind of ugly energy between your king or your queen. You just don't need it. You want to have a positive flow of energy. So look, be the first to say, I'm sorry. Keep your anger down to a bare minimum. Only argue if it's absolutely necessary. If it's not necessary, try to avoid the argument. Why argue? Although I will say that some people like that arguing back and forth. It releases both of their stress. But personally, to me, I don't think it's as productive as being a support system and being slow to anger and quick to forgive. That would be my advice. Be slow to anger, be quick to forgive, and to work as a team. Finally, to work as a team. When you work as a team, try to make decisions together. Try not to make decisions without the other person, or at least major decisions. It makes them feel important in your life, and they should be important in your life. It also makes, it gives you that other person to kind of help guide your thought process. And that's very helpful in all things that we do. So again, the king and queen concept, I'll go over them again. Step number 1 is view your wife as your queen or your husband as your king. Okay? Step 2, always be honest with each other. Step 3, demonstrate your loyalty. Step 4, vocalize your gratitude and love. Step 5, publicly and honestly praise one another. Step 6, the magic touch. Step 7, be the support system. Step 8, be the first to say I'm sorry. Step 9, be slow to anger and quick to forgive. And finally, step 10, work as a team. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you're interested in any of my programs, such as our martial arts program, or if you're interested in our home study program for martial arts, or mentoring from me, go to ravenselfdefense.com. By the way, don't forget to like this video, click subscribe, and share it with your friends. Have a good day.